welcome. I am Anthony Defato with LifeWire News Service, and I am here with
Chris Marcioni.
Chris to talk. We'll talk about the film Autism in Love.
Today we're going to be screening the film Autism in Love. This film actually follows the lives of 5 people on the spectrum. And we're going to get actually a perspective of each person and where they are with relationships. But not only that, maybe some of the challenges that they find in establishing a relationship, maintaining a relationship, things that all of us face. But they also give a very good perspective on what their definition of a relationship is, what their definition of love is.
When Gita died, when she passed away, right, and he said, well, she's dead, I don't love her now. What did you think about that? I thought,
Yeah, I actually, looking back on it, where I am in my life now, I think many years ago I would have, I don't want to say frowned upon that would have been striking to me, that a person no longer exists physically in this world. I would still love them. But from Stephen gave a different perspective on that. Something's not there anymore. A person is not there anymore. So for him, that love stops, because his meaning of love means that a person needs to physically be here to do that.
Something we talk about a lot in our program, so it's like, I'm young, I'm of the same age, close to the same age as a lot of the guys in our program, so it's nice, can I ask them to have a boyfriend? Can they ask me if I have a boyfriend? Yeah, why not? We should all be able to talk about it. Like, it shouldn't be taboo to talk about whether or not people are, interested in romantic relationships, if they have one, if they're looking, all that, so I'm excited to talk about.
I thought it was a great film. I didn't really know what to expect before coming today, but I thought it was very an interesting look at 3 different relationships that were all different parts of the country too. The main theme was relationships, and the main theme was love, not only with the couples that we met and listened to Lenny and wanted to get a girlfriend, but also their families were also a very big part of their lives, and the love that they were getting from their family members and trying to help them in every way be happy in life and really try to find that happiness, whatever that meant, whether it be getting a girlfriend or getting married or dealing with a loved one that was sick. So I think it's very interesting to learn about these individuals.
What I found interesting about the film was it kind of really highlights for everybody watching it that we all have great happiness and great sadness in our lives. That's not different for any person, whether they have disabilities or limitations, or whether they're the quote-unquote normal. I'll do the air quotes, the quote-unquote normal, whatever that is. We all go down this path and suffer great sadness and also experience great joy. So I think that film helped highlight that.
I thought the movie was pretty inspiring, because everybody should know that no matter who we are, whatever disability we have, everybody should never take disability or life for granted.
It don't matter if you're perfect or you're not, because I feel bad for the other kid that's trying to find a girlfriend that's like higher function,
right,
and trying to go to college and stuff, and he's like lower, and I like feel that way, because I want to do that too in the future, find somebody that's like higher and stuff. It's more mature and stuff, that has a lot of money and stuff like that. And it don't matter if you're perfect or you're ugly, you don't have a good smile, you just be yourself, and God will find you.
I think it's a profound, documentary. I'm glad these lives, you know, what these people are feeling was actually portrayed. And I think we need to hear more of that. And I think that's very important, that if many of you can get out there and speak at different events. And what I'm going to say is don't speak to the choir, because most of the people here already know what you're feeling, and where you know, we're not disabled, we're your allies. And so we need to get out there and reach out to more people so that they can understand that all lives are valuable, disabled lives are valuable, and we want the same opportunities, you know, in life, in work, in love, in play, and within our community. So,
you know, I thought, you know, when Chris was talking about it before, I think, you know, when it's David, right? David, I guess when he lost Gita, when he said he didn't love Stephen, didn't love her anymore. I think by him not, you know, he may have said that in a literal sense, but I think he really did have feelings. It was really deep down, and you could tell in his eyes and his expressions that he did really feel deeply about her. And so it's never easy losing someone you love, but I think that was an indication that kind of showed me that he really did love her, even though he had a hard time expressing himself, right? He couldn't really, you know, express it the way Gita could express her love for him. But, you know, that to me showed me that he really hurt and loved her, and still loves her. Sure. She's gone.
some people experience that love and that passion when they physically see the person. And how do you experience it when that person no longer physically exists? So that could be something else. I mean, this is pure speculation, what Stephen experienced. And who knows if many of us don't feel that way. You know, I don't know.
It's really so much a matter of, we all feel the same, we're just expressing it. And, you saw when he was talking, Lenny was talking with, Stephen was talking with Gilda at the place, he was kind of a little bit awkward, strange, but, I mean, he doesn't know how to express love is different in the same way. That's really what it is.
One specific aspect or one specific thing in trying to have a relationship that might be kind of a unique barrier, or maybe not unique, strike unique, a challenge that a person with a disability might encounter that's going to be maybe a little more challenging than someone without those specific disabilities that we all deal with overcoming here in the agency and in this group. I mean, is there like one thing that you think would offer an extra kind of little challenge or hurdle to get over?
I would say, like you said about the frequencies, trying to find someone on your own frequency. Well, it's called the spectrum disorder.
Right.
Where you're going to find someone, well, not where, but like it's difficult to find someone who's, point on the spectrum, matches well with your points. That goes with other disabilities, but just finding someone who, their unique parts match up with your unique parts.
But one of the saddest moments for me in the movie was when Lenny just looked at the camera and said, I wish I was not autistic. I wish I was a normal person. And of course then he cried, so how can that not be sad? That was very sad. But how did that make, let me start the panel. I mean, what were your thoughts about that?
I think it's very telling. It seems like on Staten Island, I think you have a very supportive community. Both able and non-disabled, and although Lenny has a mom who seems to be very supportive, he's obviously not surrounded by others who are. It was very sad, and I think there's millions of other disabled people who do feel people who wish they weren't disabled because they just view the non-disabled life as just more attractive. More opportunity, and from a certain perspective, yes, we're privileged as non-disabled people. But we have to do a better job, and we have to include Lenny and all those people, who are feeling the same way into these conversations, into conversations about space, into conversations about different laws that really promote and value the rights of people with disabilities.
Is it possible for him to find as meaningful a relationship or a good relationship as the others had, as Steve and Gita had for all those years before she passed away?
Yeah, I think another way to look at it is we all as human beings have this same challenge. You know, whether you have a disability or not. When you get into a relationship, it's a risk, right? When you make a friend, when you care about somebody, when you develop feeling for somebody, it's always risky. Are they going to love you back? Are they going to be your friend back? And I think in Lenny's case, you know, he has certain thoughts about relationships, and he's younger, so he's just starting out as an adult. And everyone in the room here is adults, and we all face this every day, and it's always a risk, you know, and you're learning as you go, and you can't let some barriers or obstacles, whether you have a disability or you're not. You know, for me, you know, I always wanted to play for the Yankees. And I thought I was a pretty good baseball player, but I wasn't good enough to ever make it to be a professional baseball player. So that was disappointing in some respects, but at the same time, you reinvent yourself and you look at the good things that you can do. What are the qualities that everybody has in the room? What are the strengths that you have? What do you do well? What makes you you? And I think that's the stuff that will help you find a good relationship or a good friend. And that's the stuff you gotta focus on.
I think letting Tom said you're autistic, own it, like just work with what you got, like, and once you have to accept that, it's not about changing it, it's just about going from there.